All right, so gonna shoot the 10 millimeter again today. Gonna try to capture some slow motion with the GoPro and see if that actually works out as well. And I think I found a 40 round. I don't know anything about it, but I was just gonna shoot this and see how it compares to these 10 mil rounds. So I freshly loaded these. It's 10.8 grains of 800X and 9.6 grains. This is a 155 grain XTP. This is a 180 grain XTP. So we're gonna compare the 155 grain XTP with 180 grain, and then also just see what this full metal jacket 40 round does, and hopefully we'll get the velocity as well. So yeah, let's turn that on and just get shooting here. Okay, we got the 40 loaded up, and we're gonna go ahead and take a shot and see where we can land on here on the block. I'm gonna aim for the, I guess I'll aim for the kind of upper left. All right. And unsurprisingly, we got a stovepipe because we're using a 20-pound or maybe even a 24-pound spring. I honestly forget. And it's a 40 round, so it did not eject. We got a reading of 938 out of this chronograph, and we knocked over our blocks, and our chronograph is almost blowing over. So that's I guess to be expected. It just went straight on through. Did not stop at all, and did not really leave any damage. Just passed straight through the block. And then impacted one of these boards. Looks like it impacted right here. Oh, there we go. So this must have been like that. And then it came, and maybe it came out the bottom. Let me take a look. Okay, so found the bullet. It actually went in. This is a 4x4, and it went in like over 3/4 of the way into it, and you can kind of see it sticking out the other side. So that's some pretty good penetration. That last test I did, forget when, with that 10 mil cast lead round, that actually didn't penetrate nearly as much. So that's pretty interesting. But you know, that you can tell the 10 mil was doing a lot more work on the block. So anyways, let's go ahead and shoot these XTPs. All right, we got these 155 grain XTPs loaded up. Interesting thing about this 40 round is you can kind of see the, I don't know what would you call that, but it's just the burnt powder on the outside of the round there as the gas was passing by the round. So it didn't really seal. The point is, it didn't seal because it wasn't actually fully, it didn't fill the chamber because, you know, the 40 is obviously shorter. So you can shoot them out of a 10 mil just fine, no problems, but it didn't actually, you know, little gas came around that, which, you know, like I said, isn't a problem. But anyways, let's shoot this 155 grain XTP. I'm gonna try to aim kind of for the roughly the same area. We'll see. I'll probably pull it low. Shit. And it's actually, I think it was in battery. Fully ejected. Let's do the next one. We'll put it kind of next to it on the left hand side. Wow, 1608. Holy shit. Okay, and we're gonna put this one just a little bit lower. And this one actually came, it's not in battery, you can see. Which is kind of a problem. I don't know why it's doing that. I think I might need to replace my recoil spring. So I just have to push it in. And let's do the last one. Whoa. Okay. Let's see what happened. Well, it ejected. Okay, so didn't actually shoot the chrono like it looked like. I just kind of put it a lot lower than I thought I was going to, and put it at the bottom of the block. We'll wash it off and take a look at it when I'm done, but it actually stopped in the block most of the way through, probably about 14 inches. The second shot was a little high. That actually sailed over the block and came out right there. First shot came in and penetrated, about 14 inches, which is pretty cool. And you can see there's some pretty massive wounding in here, which is cool to see. So let's go ahead and shoot those 180 grain XTPs. I kind of expect those to go fully through the block, but we'll see. So let's get to it. All right, so just wanted to point out in that last shot where I blew over the chronograph, pretty sure that was because of that bullet was so low, it was just right over the top of it, and I think that definitely had something to do with it, like the pressure wave or something. I looked for the brass from those 3 shots, and I couldn't find any of it. It's around here somewhere. I think it blew it out pretty far, so we'll see about this 180 grain. We got loaded up, so we're gonna go ahead and get going on that. I'm gonna try to kind of put these on the right side, so we can keep the shots separate. So I'm gonna go for kind of the upper right hand side. Okay, and we're gonna have to reset. A little more recoil on that 180 grain. We got 1,419 feet per second. Let's reset the block. Okay, I actually found that round on the table behind the block. I think this is I think this must have been the 155 grain XTP, but I'm not honestly sure. I guess we'll weigh it and find out, because it looks like the 180 grain XTP bounced out, unless it bounced that way somehow, because I found it on this side. But we'll weigh that at the end. Let's go ahead and finish off these last 2 rounds. I got some duct tape on the block. Oh wow, this tape sucks. That's probably just gonna go flying, but I gotta wash it off anyways, so whatever. So anyways, let's just get through it. Gonna aim for the center of the block. And everything goes flying. Okay. I even had that chronograph tape down. Okay, holy shit. All right, let's put the camera down. Okay, so chrono read 1421, that last shot, and we put it kind of on the lower side of the block. Just gonna aim dead center again. I think that round actually got captured in the block, so that'll be cool. Let's go ahead and do this last one. Ah, totally flinched, son of a bitch. Holy cow. Okay, and we're done. Okay, 1399 is that last reading, and we punched it pretty much dead center. Let's see if we got anything coming out the back. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't feel anything. Oh, it looks like we met. Oh, wow. Yeah, and we did. It went right on through, and that is hot. And yeah, that looks like a different, much different. That looks like the 180 grain in it. Just went in right there. That's cool. Interesting that the other one got caught and this one didn't. This one must have it kind of barely nudged into the wood there. So just had enough to get out. So that's kind of cool. So let's get everything washed off and take a look at what we got. So I was just breaking everything down here. And I finally found those shells. They went pretty damn far. So they're all the way over. Well, one of them's on that black mat. So let's count the steps here. This is the first shell. 8. And then this is about the last shell. So it's about, 5 to 8 strides away, which is, 15 to 24 feet roughly. Let's take a look at the brass. It is, actually that primer's not too flattened. This is one of the 155 grain XTPs. You can see these marks here that got left when it was being extracted out of the chamber. Those are just drag marks, and you should see some extractor marks. They should be right there on that same side, I think. But I don't really see too big of an indent, but take a look at it later. But yeah, they went pretty damn far. This closer one was another XTP, or a 155 grain. And it looks pretty similar to the last one. Same drag marks. Yeah. All right, let's get the block inside washed off. All right, got the block cleaned off as best I could, and got some pretty interesting results. Let's take a look at the front. So this was the 40 right there. We have a it was an XTP, or sorry, 155 grain, 155 grain, and the very bottom was 155 grain. You can see that these 155 grain XTPs were leaving bits of metal, lead, as they're going through. They're leaving bullet fragments, and their wounding was more substantial. You can see that was a 180 grain, 180 grain, 180 grain. It's just looking at the wounding, it is greater on these the 155 grain. It's I guess I can try measuring it, but you can see at the widest point, I mean, it's like 1.5 inches permanent wound cavity versus it's hard to measure this. Let's flip it on the side. For the 180, I mean, it's like, I don't know, 1.25 maybe. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is what happened here on the bottom. So I couldn't do this again if I tried. I actually shot one of the bullets of this 155 grain XTP, was the shot on the very bottom. Came creaming in, it stopped there. Okay, it doesn't help that there's all these rounds were shot previous. It stopped there, and and then that's where it ended up. This 180 grain XTP here came in, went all the way in and plowed into it. It split in half. The jacket split off, ended up there. The actual lead, I thought I shot 2 bullets. I was trying to figure it out because there was only 1 track, but there's 2 bolts left in here. Well, it's just the jacket and the actual lead from the 180 grain. So it's pretty crazy. It's never happened to me before. I actually shot one of my own bullets in there, and then this bullet actually split into, got jacket separation, which I've never had with the XTPs before. So it's pretty crazy. Other than that, the 180 grains, we got one that ejected from the side there, and then we actually had a complete pass through. And then the other one didn't pass through because it impacted, this 155 grain XTP. And then, I mean, this one actually almost made it through, which is pretty impressive. The 155 grain XTPs, let's measure what they ended up at. We'll measure the bottom one here. Hold on. We got, wow, only just about 10.5 inches of penetration, which is not much. And then on the other side, this was another one. And then here we got about 12.25 inches. So it's actually under penetrating. The 180 grains actually penetrating full 16. Actually, I guess it's only 15.25, but that's penetrating the full. So definitely that would be a lot better for hunting. So let's pull out these bullets and take a look at them. All right, let's get some weights. This is the 155 grain XTP that actually exited the top of the block. So let's see what the weight retention is. You can see it plowed into the wood. Got 147.0 grains. This is, oh, my apologies. This was actually the 180 grain that passed all the way through unimpeded. This is the 155 grain that exited the top of the block. 143.6. What was this again? This was 146. Wow, so this 180 lost a lot of weight. This is the 155 grain XTP that did not exit the block. Much less material. See, 123.8 grains. Just crazy. Just complete bullet failure. Okay. Oh, lost this one. Okay. This is the 180 grain XTP core that slammed into the 155 grain XTP. And then this is the 180 grain XTP's jacket. And let's weigh jacket on its own. I don't know why this is having, yeah, 34.3. And with that, it's 144.1. This is core of the 155 grain XTP that got slammed into. Kind of looks like that's where it got hit. Let's weigh the jacket first. This is the jacket. $33.6, and the core comes out to 119.4. So pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, I might try to push these a little faster, but I think we're pretty much close to the limit. Probably we'll try to shoot these out of a 4.6 inch factory barrel and see what we can get. Want to try to at least duplicate the Underwood loads. And I think with 800X, this is the powder I actually used. I think with 800X, that's definitely possible. So we'll see.